Whoa ho, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to another exciting episode of Drunken Gaming with me, Drunken Toddler. I finally received my microphone. I'm now able to do some commentary because nobody wants to hear me not talk over clips. That's just boring. Well, today we're going to be doing a little bit of talking about some war pigeons. I put together some clips from a few games I played the other day. I did this in hopes of helping some of you that may have tried the game mode, but maybe hated it because maybe you weren't doing so well, or maybe the team that you were on wasn't doing so well and you were just getting creamed. But you know, it's your first time, and or maybe you will love the game mode and you just want to get better. In any case, I hope this helps out war pigeon veterans and noobs alike. It really is a ton of fun and a great way to rack up some experience points in little time. Something I want to go over first is the importance of playing the objective. So many people want to be snipers in most of the levels, especially the desert. And that's okay for the most part. I've played with some scout classes that were very good. But the problem comes in when all a scout does is hang out way in the back near their random spawn point and they camp pretty much the entire game. And they give basically little to no support to the team or the objective. In War Pigeons, it's important that you are always on top of the objective or in pursuit of it. I've done well with assault classes and the support class and even a little bit of the medic class, which isn't my favorite, but I did fare pretty well. Not only do two of those classes have, the ammo packs and the first aid that you can throw down to get some additional points, but the assault class has that damn rocket gun, which is perfect for building damage. And getting those birds out of the sky is a great way to keep the game going. The longer the game, the more points that you can rack up. And it's basically all about points, and of course having fun primarily, but you can get quite a bit of points just from playing War Pigeons. I've actually finished a few games above 10,000. My average is about 5,000, and especially if you get someone in your squad team that has one of those XP boosts, it can be a very lucrative game to play. You just have to play it effectively. The next thing I wanted to talk about was just escorting the pigeon carrier around. As some of you may or may not know, in War Pigeons, if you're in the prone or even kneeling, but a little bit faster in the prone, your character will actually write that message a heck of a lot faster. And you definitely want to get that message out of your hands as quickly as possible. You don't want to hang around too long, because you are going to come up every 10 seconds on that map, and they're going to know exactly where you are. So it's always best to just get in prone in a corner, or maybe the top of a building, or maybe far off to the side of the map somewhere behind a berm or something, and just get that message written as quickly as possible, and then find a nice and safe place to release that bird. That's not always possible, of course, so most people tend to just release it as quickly as possible. But ideally you'll want to let it go somewhere where it's not going to get shot down from the enemy. So usually what I like to do is try to get to the edge of a map or maybe the top of a building, especially the tops of the buildings. And whenever the message is unwritten, you can jump out the window and let it go, because usually more people are going to be inside the house than outside, like you'll see in this clip here. As soon as I get done writing the message, you can see I'm kneeling. I'm moving around a little bit. You ideally don't want to move around at all. And you don't want to move around because the message will be written a lot faster, especially in the prone. As you can see here, I'm jumping out and releasing that bird. Everyone was in the house. The bird did go up, and this time the message did get delivered. I think that if I had came outside and everyone would have come out, that thing would have gotten shot. And also, of course, you're going to get some points for releasing that bird. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what the number was. You saw it in the last clip. It was like 1,000 and change. It's another great way to rack up the points. Of course, you're not always going to be the pigeon carrier or going to be able to release it even if you do get the pigeon. But if you ever have a chance to actually pick up that bird and release it, there could be a lot of points in it for you, and that's what leads to having a really... Another quick thing I want to talk about was the importance of squad spawns. It's real important to be in a squad, that you have plenty of people in, so that way you can spawn in after you get killed closer to the objective, because it's going to get you this random spawn point. It's going to be somewhere way out in the middle of nowhere. And also, if you are the first person in a squad, so that more people can join in on you. The last few things I want to talk about, well, two things, is going to have to deal with your loadout. So basically, one, you want to make sure that you have a nice loadout that you're more than comfortable with, and also something that has pretty good hip fire accuracy. I found that the BAR Storm does a really good job at hip firing. I'm able to take pigeons out of the sky fairly easy while hip firing, as well as some of the beginning guns that you get with the assault class. But along with the weapons, also gas grenades. I cannot stress enough how awesome gas grenades are. I'm sure they're going to nerf them sometime in the future, but for right now, they may be a little bit OP because I do hit for 15 damage, which is quite a bit. But they are a good way to sort of set these traps so that if someone runs by, you're able to see them because you'll get a hit marker. Sometimes when I'm in a building, I like to throw one outside of a door in front of me and one outside of a door behind me. And then if I get a hit marker, I know someone's about to run up on me in the building. If an enemy doesn't want to die, they're going to put their gas mask on, and that's also a good way for them to only be able to hip fire, so then you have an advantage on top of them right when you enter combat. Especially if you're in a building, let's say on the second floor, you threw gas on the bottom floor, they're going to start running up. If they don't want to die, they're going to throw on that gas mask. You're probably not going to have one if you put yourself in the right situation, and you're going to be able to engage them a lot faster and a lot more effectively than most of them can with their hip fire. And that's pretty much it, guys, for my tips on how to play War Pigeons. I hope that some of these tips have helped you guys, or at the very least given you some hope that maybe you can come back into the War Pigeons mode. It's actually a lot of fun, and if you do it right, matches last less than 10 minutes, and you can bring in some points, 4 to 10,000, depending on how good you are. Until next time, guys, like and subscribe for me, please, if you will. If you want to see more of my videos, I will have more coming out. A lot of themed episodes, and maybe some other types of gameplay aside from Battlefield. I know I'm going to be getting on some Gears of War 4, and maybe some 7 Days to Die, and maybe even some Ark Survival. And thanks again. I'm Drunken Toddler. We'll see you next time.